Hey guys, it's Jason from Tag Overland, and we're here with Matt Linder from TruckHouse.
What's going on, man?
Matt, good to see you again. Last time we saw you was Expo West.
Yep.
And you showed us the single cab TruckHouse, which is epic. It's probably my favorite camper that I've ever seen.
I appreciate that.
But I see you guys have the double cab here now.
Yep.
So I'd like to walk around that with you. And you also built out the interior, which I think everybody's been like holding their breath, waiting to see it. And I poked my head in yesterday. It's epic, guys. So we're gonna have Matt walk you through that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so here you go. You got your crew cab, 3500 ProspectorXL, all upfit from AEV. And so it is the same camper configuration that's on the regular cab, but you can see it still looks proportionally accurate based on the shape of the cab over and where it hits at that window line.
Yeah, I think you guys did a great job with that because the whole cab is just like tucked there perfectly, and it's not like sticking out from the cab over. It's just like the lines flow so well.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a great truck to drive. You know, coming out here doing 65, 70 miles an hour, you can do 16 miles a gallon, 74 gallons of fuel, well over 1,000-mile range. It's not fatiguing. We probably averaged about 80, 85 the whole way here, driving with one finger, 10-hour day of driving, and you don't even want to get out.
That's awesome, man. And I know these new BF Goodrich 40 HD tires, you've been saying good things about them. I'm excited about them because I know that's one of the things when I was looking at getting a Prospector XL, living here in Colorado, and as much as I go chase snow and go ski, I was a little worried about maybe driving one with the IROCs over the mountain passes in the snow. But with these new HD tires, like, it's doable. So
the tire is an absolute game changer. It's really, really quiet. We had it out in the dunes in Florence, Oregon. We had these things aired down to about 18 PSI. This truck, the crew cab, didn't get stuck, neither did the regular cab on the IROCs. So these were fully capable, and then they're much better on the freeway. Speed rating of 99 miles an hour, and then it's a load range F, so it's fully capable of handling this weight and the payload.
And I know last night when we were a couple beers in, we were talking about maybe testing that speed limit. We won't talk too much about it, but there could be some things in the works.
Yeah, man, let's call up Guinness and see how fast one of these things can really go.
That's right. But yeah, the dunes pictures, that was amazing. Like, I saw you guys post that stuff and I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. Like, just, you guys were throwing sand everywhere.
It was fun, man. We had Dave out there. We had Chris Wood out there. Dave drove this thing for about half a day. He stopped and he looked at me and he goes, "You did it." And I said, "We did what?" He said, "You built a real expedition vehicle." And I, like, from Dave, the founder of AEV, that was about the biggest feather I could put in my cap. And then he hopped out and he said, "You're driving the thing for the rest of the day." And we just had a blast, man. And the regular cab, I mean, it did phenomenally with that short wheelbase. They went anywhere we wanted them to go, stuffing front bumpers, dropping into the sand, driving right out, 40-inch water crossings. I mean, phenomenal vehicle. Yeah,
I know you were showing me some footage that you guys haven't posted, and I was just like, what? And like, I saw the one picture where you guys had it up on 3 wheels. Like, you guys were not babying these things. You were really just throwing it.
Dude, Dave, he can drive.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know how these are gonna do. Like 3 minutes later, he's like just ripping up dunes, climbing stuff that only side-by-sides go up. He was blown away, and Chris is a phenomenal driving instructor, coach, and guide. So
Chris is
can't speak more highly of those guys. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the truck did fantastic, and now we've got a full interior to show people.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah, so let's climb on in. We'll move our little no entry sign. We get some special access.
Yeah. These stairs are cool.
Yeah, and those prototype set we build, Dave actually helped with some of that design. Really important that those things end up folding in the camper, and that's so that they don't have to deal with mag chloride and aren't a point of failure. Right. So we went back and forth, are they mechanical, are they electric? And Dave really, really kind of pointed us in the direction of mechanical. He says, anyone that builds an electric step right now doesn't have the proper engineering or coding to hang on the outside of a true expedition vehicle.
Yeah.
So therefore we built our own. And they've been working great so far.
And I mean, I've seen it when it's all put away. When you guys had it out at West, obviously the interior wasn't in the single cab and you had everything kind of closed up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so integrated. You don't even know, like, the only reason the stairs, you're like, okay, there's stairs right there because the door's above it.
Yep.
Right? Otherwise, it just looks like a compartment.
Yep, and
Whereas
it enables us to have a true belly skid there, whereas if we had a set of stairs that lived outside of the vehicle, that's somewhere that's always going to be, you know, in danger of breaking when you're actually wheeling these things. Because that's definitely a point where if you're going to high center, it's going to be right around there. So instead of having a stair hanging there, we have an integrated skid plate.
And that's to me, it's cool because it's like you have the functionality of that, the protection, the skid plate, and then you have the integrated look. So from an aesthetic standpoint, it just looks great. Whereas like some of these rigs, there's some very cool rigs out here, but you see like the folded up, typical truck camper stair crunched in there, and it just kind of looks.
Yeah, we're an electric stair
great,
hanging out at the departure angle right where you're about to rip it off.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once you come in here, we got some more really cool creature comforts. So you're standing on heated floors. This is not on obviously right now, we're in summer, but in winter you've got heated floors. It's got all the electronic components are actually subfloor. So battery and electronics are all subfloor, kind of like an electric vehicle. Keeps our center of gravity super low. And then if you come back here, we've got a full dinette. So this table pivots, lets you get in.
That's awesome.
We made sure to really work on the ergonomics of the seating. So these benches are tilted back, bench backs are tilted back.
Yeah.
This table drops down into another bed. Up in the cab there is a king. And we have that TV kind of, you know, facing towards us now.
But I just noticed that.
Yeah, but it will pivot and go back against the wall. You can watch it from the bed. And, you know, talking just to the construction of this interior, this is an all fiberglass interior. So it's, you know, about half the weight and twice the strength as if we were using traditional construction methods.
What's wild is like when we were standing outside, there was a helicopter going over, and obviously people are outside talking.
Yeah.
And as soon as we came in here, even with these 3 windows open and the door open, so much quieter.
Yeah, and with that carbon fiber manufacturing that we do, it's actually nominally 2 inches thick. So it's better insulated than a Yeti cooler, which is good for thermal and also for sound.
Yeah. And you were telling me about this table last show.
Yeah.
And the kind of materials you guys use.
Yep.
And this is really cool because it's like it's manufactured, but it's like a special kind of manufactured wood, right? So it's waterproof and.
Yeah. So this is actually what we call a thermally modified ash, and so similar process to how they make really expensive high-end guitar bodies.
Right.
So they end up putting this ash. Ash is usually kind of a white opaque color, not super beautiful. You end up putting this ash in an oven, and then you put it in a kiln, and it comes out this toasty brown. And what it does is it kind of cooks out all of the resins and saps, so it makes it thermally stable and lighter. And so they use that for guitar bodies because you don't want to be holding a heavy guitar.
Yeah.
So we had some access to this special wood, and then we actually hand saw the veneer work. So this is, you know, 16th inch real wood you're touching.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's cool because you can feel the grain.
Yeah, but it's all on some special composite technology. So this table itself, if this was solid wood, would probably be about 40 pounds. This table is more like 15 pounds.
Nice.
Stronger, lighter, won't rot, won't warp, won't move. We're really proud of, you know, that type of woodworking and that type of fit and finish.
Yeah, and I mean, it's cool that it drops down and creates another bed back here.
Yep.
I know when I get my truck house, this will be Samson's little spot to
the dog bed, dude.
Up,
Pull the pass-through cover off. Samson be mobbing back here, and then poke his head in, say what up.
Drive faster, Dad.
Yeah, Dad, we're trying to get to the trails, man. And we're really, you know, we really love this U-shaped dinette with these big windows.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
They're all glass. They all open awning style. They can stay at any point you let them go, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
When they shut, they're dual pane, super quiet. You know, you've got integrated bug screen. You've got integrated blackout shade. So you can, you know, if you have a little bit longer of a night, you can sleep in later. Or if you're, you know, trying to stay out of the bugs, we got that figured out. You know, we really tried to stick with the TruckHouse ethos of no corners cut, really high-end fit and finish, and just give a beautiful aesthetic. Because we like to remind people that no matter where you are, where you're camping, you could be watching the most beautiful Big Sur sunset. Once the sun goes down, it's black.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So you need to be able to come in here, watch a movie, read a book, be comfortable, have all the creature comforts of home, not just be in like this white box that looks like a dentist's office.
Yeah.
You want to feel comfortable.
Yeah, and it's very it's pleasant in here because everything's earth tones. You know, you do have a little bit of white in there, but it's balanced out with this nice green and the wood colors and all that. It's really great. And I like how you guys have thought out stuff like, you know, putting outlets here because everybody needs to charge their phone to go through their GoPro footage or whatever at the end of the day. And you got more than enough plugs. If I get my TruckHouse and take my sister out, she's always needing to charge her phone. So she'll probably be back here in the dog bed with Samson, just plugged in.
No doubt, man. And, you know, speaking of charging phones, what's really crazy that we did is it's a 48-volt battery system. So this house runs off, you know, 48 volts, which when it's charged, it's normally about 53 volts. And what that enables us to do is run a 48-volt alternator under the hood. And so we're able to charge at about 8,000 watts going down the road.
Man, that's wild.
So that's about 3 to 4 times more than if it was a 12-volt system. So when I was driving from Reno to Truckee in this truck for about 25 minutes, the camper charged 25%. I had my iPhone plugged into the cab of the truck. It only charged 15%.
That's crazy.
And it's a 10,000 watt hour battery bank. So it's not a small battery bank and we're like, oh, it charges so fast. It's a huge battery bank that charges incredibly fast. So much so that you could run the AC for 50 hours on eco mode, non-cycling, no sun.
That's amazing.
And then it's all integrated via Garmin. So we're in control of the user interface. So we have all the back end control and everything communicates via NEMA and CAN bus. So we can have, you know, the AC can communicate with the interior temp sensor and the max fans are controlled and you could turn the air conditioner on while you're going down the road.
And that's like 50 hours of putting no more juice in it, right?
Correct.
Like you're topped up.
Yep.
Like that doesn't even account for, you said you have 600 watts of solar on the roof,
That's
right?
correct, yeah.
So
yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
And if you think about it, you know, 600 watts is quite a bit of solar.
Yeah.
But going down the road, we're charging at almost 8,000.
Yeah.
We would need, you know, what's quick math there? 13 truck houses to
Yeah.
create 8,000 watts of solar. So the alternator charging is insane. Solar is really there to offset your daytime usage, which is awesome. Or if you're out hiking, you know, you're getting charged the whole time. But super cool that the Garmin can end up, you know, firing up the truck, putting it in high idle, running for an hour and 20 minutes, shutting off, and you're good to go for another, you know, 4, 5, 6 days. Or if you're in the sun, maybe indefinitely.
Yeah, which that, like, to me, that's cool because there's a lot of places where, you know, when I sell my house, buy a TruckHouse and go on the road full time, places like Grand Teton, Yellowstone, right? Like those are places I like to go.
Yep.
I have a dog.
Yep.
And they have requirements in those parks, especially bear country, right? You have to have the dog in a hard sided camper.
Yep.
And you can't just leave a dog with windows open in bear country, and you can't leave them without AC. And being able to have that much charging going on while you're driving, to have those batteries topped up, and then being able to leave your dog in the air condition with 600 watts of solar, refueling it.
Yep.
It's like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
auto start and auto idle up. We're always thinking like, you know, what if you have to leave your dog in the car and you're going skiing or going on a hike and you break your leg?
Yeah.
Unforeseen, you know, you're like, oh, my dog's only gonna be in the car for 3 hours. It turns out to be 24 hours.
Yeah.
We want this thing really to be self-sufficient and run itself, and whatever mode you put it in, whether it was dog mode, which kept your AC at 70 degrees, and like we want to make sure it continues to do that, even if you didn't plan on coming back.
Yeah.
You know, or did plan on coming back but didn't make it back. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see kind of what you guys did with that. Like it's changing the game for kind of that off-grid camping, you know.
Yeah, that's the goal. And then, you know, we just make sure we continue with all the normal creature comforts at home. So you've got a 2-drawer fridge, which can be fridge, freezer, or freezer all on the fly. That's from Italy. It's got a nice Bosch speed oven there, so that can be microwave, convection oven, broiler. I think it's got 5 different modes.
Cook your turkey on Thanksgiving.
Literally, yeah, with no generator, no propane, like just off electricity from the batteries.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Then induction cooktop, big sink. And then we've even got a wet bath. So when we sneak out of here, we can open that, and I'll fold that that TV back so you can take a look at that king bed.
Okay,
and
cool.
then there's a big skylight above it. And then also the pass-through into the cab is a sweet feature. Like you said, your dog could be chilling back here. Your co-pilot could climb in the back and grab you a soda.
Yeah.
If state laws let you, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or if you're in Mexico, right? That's,
hey,
I think that's where
yeah. Or if you're on a closed course with a professional driver,
that's right.
You can do all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, we're really proud of this interior. We really wanted to make sure as we improved our composite technology and our exterior styling that we did the same and elevated the level of the interior.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have done an absolutely phenomenal job. It's gorgeous in here. It's quiet. It feels nice. It's ergonomic, you know, like it's just comfortable.
Thanks, man.
It feels good. It feels like a place that you would want to crash after the end of an adventure day.
You know why? Because Dave sent us God, what was the document called? Like the study of the human body. And no, I swear to God. And it had like ergonomic angles for how you should design seating and chairs. And so like the bench bottom, it has a 3-degree angle, and the bench back has an 8-degree angle. And, you know, Nico and Dave kind of nerded out on all that because, like, you know, needs to be comfy.
I mean, that guy, like Dave, is just, he's on another level. But it's so cool to see you guys connect with somebody like that and just be kindred spirits and come together to get ideation on the table that has produced something like this.
Oh, he's the man, dude. He'll call me at 9:30 at night on a Tuesday and be like, "Hey, what's up, Dave? What's going on, man? How are things?" I'm like, "I'm good." He's like, "You need to put PPF behind the exterior grab handle." And I'm like, "What made him think of that?" He's like, "The Jeep doors scratch right there all the time." I'm like, "Noted, Dave. We're on it. Thanks, buddy." And like, if Dave talks, man, I listen, because the guy has a world of experience, and in my opinion, he's probably the best automotive engineer and designer that doesn't work for an OEM.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's done, and like the fact that OEMs are adopting what he's done, it just says it all. And the fact that you guys are kind of taking that same mindset of like, this needs to be OEM or better. When we build this, it's just
serviceable, reliable. Think about failure mode. So when that breaks, how can we replace it? How can we get a customer that water pump in on their way to Alaska and that they can put in 5 minutes? Not like, oh God, turn around and come back. It's like, let's figure out how to make this serviceable, reliable, so that when someone plans a 3-month trip and something happens, they can continue on their way and we don't ruin anything for them. All we do is help facilitate their adventure. Yeah,
and that's something you and I were talking about at West, is like, if you're down in South America with this thing, you know, like, you know that if something on the suspension were to break, wear out, whatever, you can go into a Ram dealer.
Napa Auto Parts. I mean,
or you call up AEV, they'll send you a shock, whatever.
And we want to be that same level of serviceability on the camper side. So you call us and you're like, "Hey, my sound system isn't working. This speaker isn't working." Like, we want to be able to send you a pre-manufactured pigtail if the wiring went bad or we had some type of problem. It's not like, oh God, we got to solve this. It's like, we have that part, we have that. All you got to do is unplug, replug in, let us know it works.
And that's the thing, is like, you walk around shows like this and you look at some of the suspension and stuff that other people have done, and it's cool, but it's like, what if that fails when you're in Patagonia, right?
You're
like,
screwed, dude.
You're
screwed. And it's
you're good.
And just, we really drank that AEV Kool-Aid. It's like, to think that some of these small, mom and pop manufacturers have better engineering, design, and R&D than a big name like Ram is pretty silly. So just like AEV, they complement the factory engineering and design. They don't just fully throw it away. So that's kind of the goal. Silly to throw it away, because how much money is spent designing just this leaf spring, for example.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is mind blowing.
And the amount of testing that goes into it.
Yep. But yeah, so if you wanna pop out of here, I can kind of give you the.
For sure. I took notice you guys got tons of storage up here, which is awesome.
Tons of storage. We got a bifold there, hanging closet. We have pantry. Everything is soft close. Yeah, you open that and then you just give her a nice shut. Soft close. Awesome. Push button. Super light. All the drawer boxes, stainless steel drawer boxes, composite bottoms, nice soft close.
Like, I don't know if it's going to show up in the video, but guys, the wood in here is just beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and little things we do. Find you ever seen a swinging door handle that was flush? That took Nico, like, I don't friggin' know how long to find, but it's flush swinging door handle. When it comes out, look, there's no strike. So you're like, how is this ever going to latch? It pulls that out with a magnet.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's just because we don't want anything protruding into this hallway.
Yeah.
You want to bump your hip on a door handle every single time you walk by. So it's got a nice little wet bath if you poke your head in there. We offer 3 different toilet options for the customer. So you can do composting, you can do cassette like this, or you can do dry flush. So full wet bath. And all your integration with your Max fan is up there through Garmin.
That is like,
it's nice, right?
Not much smaller than my master bathroom shower.
Yeah, we'll take it, man. And like, with our cool composite technology, if this was a solid wood door, this would be about a 120-pound door. This is about a 20-pound door.
Wow, that's cool.
It's stronger. So it's not like we're getting lighter and weaker. We're getting lighter and stronger.
Well, that's the cool thing about you guys, and something I've always admired, is like, when you started out with the TruckHouse, on the Toyota platform.
Yeah.
You guys got a ton of haters saying, "Oh, that's never going to work." Da, da, da. There were some big folks contributing to that narrative.
Yeah.
Right. And some of those folks have since found out, like, oh shit, the house is only 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, this works.
Yeah.
And it's like that, but on a full size platform now.
Yep.
And you guys have kept it lightweight.
Yep.
And it just looks freaking fantastic, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, and we we love that Toyota, and that Toyota took a ton of custom work to be able to support that. So we did back half a chassis, custom axles, custom brakes, long travel, superchargers, you name it, we did it, we touched it, we fabricated it. But really, when we kind of started working with AEV on this, it's like, let's let the best truck builder in the game build the truck. Let us focus on our core competency, which is the composites. So instead of just cutting out the truck fabrication and building a simpler box, we made the box more complex, more beautiful, more ergonomically designed.
Yeah.
So we really are focusing all our energy there and letting the big dogs over at AEV, handle the heavy lifting on the chassis, which has been super helpful for us and it's made us, build a better product.
Yeah, I remember, before West, you guys had gone on the Truck Show podcast with Sean and Lightning.
Sean and Lightning.
And I remember that's where I heard your story of like growing up, because, and I might not use the right terms here because it's been a bit since I listened to the episode, but your dad like owned a shipyard, right? Or
Yep. He had a small little boatyard. Yep.
Boatyard.
So works on yachts
you
and
learned
ferries.
how to basically build like every part of a boat.
Yep.
Hull, and you put boats back together, and it's just cool to see that experience, like from the marine world, the boat world, translate into doing something like this, and you knowing how to do all that stuff with fiberglass and composites. Like that's like next level thinking.
I'm super fortunate for that. My dad did a great job. When I worked there in summers of high school and college, and I started at the bottom of the barrel, sanding the bottom of boats for a whole summer. And then the next summer I got to work with the topside crew, which was like the body and paint side of things.
Yeah.
And then the next summer I got to work in the fab shop. So we did a bunch of metal fabrication. The next summer I got to work with the composites guys doing hand fiberglass work, and the wood shop, and a little bit of everything. So it really gave me a nice sense of like how it all works. And then, with my young and hungry team at TruckHouse, which we wouldn't be here without all my guys. They worked so friggin' hard, but we took all that to another level. So I used to hand lay fiberglass at the boatyard. We vacuum infused carbon fiber. It's just a whole nother level, but it was a great foundation and a cool work ethic, because working in a shipyard is freaking hard, man. Yeah.
I mean, I bet that's tough work. And like you said, your team, like as I've gotten to know your team, like such cool guys, such rad guys. You guys are doing amazing stuff. We're so happy for you. And seeing what you guys have created, it's just like, it's mind-blowing. And guys, if you haven't been out to an Overland Expo show or a show where TruckHouse is, and you're interested in expedition vehicles, RVs, you got to come see this thing. Like it's amazing. I'm telling you.
Thank you. Hey, well, let's flip this thing around so at least you can look at the king bed. So that guy goes away, stows up here, and then you've got full skylight, windows, sound system, nightstands for water, USB chargers, reading lights, full king bed, and then you've got that access to let Samson the dog climb through. You can have that off.
Samson's little doggy door.
Yep.
Yeah, I poked my head in here yesterday, like just slightly, and the stereo was going on, and man, it bumps.
Yeah, it's got about 2,000 watts in the amp, and we've got a 10-inch sub, all controlled via Garmin, and it's just the right amount. It is crisp and right, but not overpowering.
Yeah, because I remember you said that the more vintage Toyota.
My Sunrider,
Your Sunrider. You put a pretty bumping system in that too, right?
The Sunrider had 2,500 watts and outdoor sound and sub and the whole nine. It's like, hey man, sometimes you're camping and want to be in nature, and sometimes you're in the Telluride parking lot and you want to party. So this thing can do it all.
There you go. Well, Matt, I appreciate you showing us this.
Of course,
it's amazing, dude. Congratulations. We are wishing you the best. I'm looking forward to seeing more of what you guys would do with these things.
Thank you so much, man.